Assalamualaikum, how's everyone? I'm Hanita and I'm from Faculty of Education, and I'll be talking about my reflection, my reflective style of writing. I'll be talking about how I encounter a particular problem during my but let me first share with you my slides. Now, the problem simply started off sometime at the beginning of the semester when I received a WhatsApp from a student. He's actually a student from my GV 1063, and because of that, I understood that he is a first year. So, from what he wrote to me in the message, he expressed that he is now withdrawing from the course simply because he feels that he is incapable of continuing the course. And so although I tried probing into understanding the reason behind his withdrawal, it took him a while before he could respond to my query. And so this was the initiating of the problem that causes me to write this reflection. When a student withdraw, it's actually an indication that there is a problem. It's either a problem that is close to heart, or it's simply because of the teacher. And so I like to understand what is the reason of the withdrawal. Although the student sugarcoated his explanation, blaming himself for not being able to follow the course, I have to somehow investigate whether this is true or not. And so this led me to identify the problem further. Before this problem arise, I have carried out a survey, a very simple survey, at trying to understand how my teaching is affecting my students. And so in this survey, I basically distributed a Google form where I looked at a few aspects, including how students perceive my teaching style, whether and one of it is being prepared or not for the lessons. And if you notice that in this section alone, most of the students refuse to answer the negative part, which is either disagree or strongly disagree. The most that they opted was just by being neutral, and that somehow caused me an alarm. That alarmed me. As I said, students' responses lean towards positivity, as if indicating refusal to be open about truth. Don't they trust me enough to be open about their worries? If let's say that they can't follow the lessons, I feel that they could have responded it in the survey. And so I formulated an understanding, or I assume one thing, that there is a trust issue at hand. And so my mind begins to wander, and I said, "This is something that I should not be happy about. It's something it is a cause of worry. It feels that I am being separated, isolated, demarcated, and boycotted by my own set of people. I feel that my students are my own set of people simply because they are Malaysians, and I understand them, and they are undergoing some difficulties at trying to understand a new form knowledge, which is teaching, right? So I wanted to understand why. And so that quizzed me further. I feel that they don't understand me enough to believe that I will not snap or get angry if I do find out that they disagree with of what I'm thinking, or they don't like what I'm doing. And so I had to come up with a plan. Yeah. So one of the things that I thought of is to maybe look at how I teach them. So maybe I was being very distant in my teaching, that I was not humane enough, that I was not real enough, and so that needed some working or reworking. And besides that, of course, I felt that I needed to sound more real in my conversations, in order to forge a real relationship instead of a falsified one. And of course, this presents myself as being real, and of course, this will enable me to relate to them as a person, yeah, by talking about my dreams, my hopes, and how I have underwent my undergraduate years. That itself might have improved the the dynamics between me and my students, which thus can help them in their learning and performance. With that, thank you so much for listening.